Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. Last night was the State of the Union. We'll discuss the president's thoughts, and he's got the rundown.
Sam, it's January, almost the end, and those new taxes are due. We'll talk to Carole Vilardo from the Nevada Taxpayers Association. And No Child Left Behind addresses the slowest in the class, but what about the best and the brightest? What's for them? We'll talk to people from the Davidson Institute. Sam?
And coming up on today's Power Panel, three guys with no opinions, Chris Barrett, Jim Denton, and Dick Gammick. It's all coming up next on the all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
The Abowed family has an appetite for dialogue. Agree or disagree, have the conversation. All opinions are welcome. Since 1977, Adele's.
Catch a straight, dine at 8, lucky you. Lucky you. Dance till 1, have some fun, lucky you. Lucky you. Taste the shrimp, have a sip, try the pool, play it cool. The Sienna Hotel Spa Casino. Lucky you. Yeah!
In business, the key to success is not the quantity of your clients, it's the quality of your clients. Almost all companies will tell you they want more sales, but what they really need are quality customers who pay their bills on time. With Employer Link's client vendor screening program, we provide comprehensive reports regarding the financial performance of your corporate prospects, customers, and vendors. Build your business with great clients and vendors. Call Employer Links today at 883-3733.
If you own a business and want to maximize your company's potential, join the Retail Association of Nevada. Our membership benefits include the Nevada Retail Network Self-Insured Group, providing workers' compensation coverage that can lower your rates. That savings can go directly to your bottom line. We are an effective pro-business organization that lobbies on behalf of our business members. The Retail Association of Nevada, protecting Nevada businesses for 35 years. Call 882-1700 to see what we can do for your organization.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad, political analyst Ande Engleman on No Holds Barred Political Forum. Now, from the News 4 Broadcast Center, here's Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're joined by Carole Vilardo. She's the president of the Nevada Taxpayers Association. And when she talks, like E.F. Hutton, people listen.
That's right. Carole, last week the Department of Taxation mailed out notices to everybody on their payroll tax. This is the first payroll tax that will be paid, and I guess that covers the period October through December.
That's correct.
For the payroll. Is there going to be sticker shock?
There may be for some people who initially look at it if they forget that the head tax was repealed. Actually, what they're going to have is the difference between the head tax amount that they would have paid and whatever the increase is. Where the sticker shock is going to come on this is financial institutions, because that section of the bill, in my opinion, was very poorly written. As a result, you've got a number of companies who don't consider themselves financial institutions, but are categorized as financial institutions.
For example, Carole?
Well, you've got credit and repair companies, collection companies. You've got people who give financial consultants who do consulting with you or you about how to best plan your portfolio. Those all got captured. Oil and gas leases, patents and royalties.
What about stockbrokers?
Stockbrokers are captured, but stockbrokers and mortgage bankers were anticipated to be captured as financial institutions because they directly compete with the banks.
Right.
And so you wanted to have, very overused phrase, but a level playing field, if you will. Well, in trying to craft a level playing field, we actually captured everybody in the world, including retailers, construction companies, and what have you. And it was the tax commission that had to write regs that, one, gave a rebuttable presumption that you could appeal your classification, that for the section that captured everybody else was the last section in the where the rate increase was in determining financial institution, that said, and any other business that extends credit.
Wow.
Well, let me ask you this. I guess the big test is always, are businesses going to leave the state and not operate here because they feel that the taxes that have been levied are too onerous?
I think what you have happen, Sam, on something like that, it equates to California. If you happen to be in a business that this has heavily hit, and your workers' compensation has gone up, and your local licenses have gone up, and you suddenly take a look on balance as to the amount of business you're doing in the state against the increases in your expenses, because these are all expenses to a business, okay? That's when you make the decision, are you leaving? For some very small businesses, they can easily decide to close. They don't usually decide to move someplace else, because being small, they don't have the capital to do that kind of a move. So it's going to take a while to shake out. Fortunately, the economy appears to be improving. I would have real, very substantive concerns if our economy was anywhere like it was a year ago.
Right.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You know, we see that the tax revenues are going way ahead of where they were estimated to be.
Sales tax,
right,
primarily. Gaming tax is still not there.
Right.
And you
Governor
have projections that you're working on the live entertainment tax. Now, I don't think the live entertainment tax is going to bring in what was projected.
Well, didn't they narrow it when they did the regulations?
Well,
you
narrowed it somewhat, but you have to understand that was a very difficult one on which to project.
Because
and
no history.
Then, when you suddenly had the amendments on the 300-seat exemption, on the bifurcated rate, there was no time to accurately try to figure out what was going to happen.
Right.
So I think that's been overestimated. Part of your sales tax increase has been the fact that the collection allowance was reduced. So, you know, there's so many things to consider, and we've really got to watch for the next couple of quarters.
We're almost out of time. Quickly, last week we talked to John Sandy, representing the Banking Association, and he said this tax really hurt the rural.
No question.
And that they were going to be looking for some relief for the rurals in the next session. Do you see much tinkering with the tax laws in the next session?
I don't know that I see much tinkering, but I can tell you we sure as blazes need it.
Okay.
Well, okay, if we need it, then why don't we do it?
Because some of the tinkering is probably going to put some people with an increase in tax that they pay and others with a reduction. And I think it's going to be an extremely contentious election cycle with people saying we're not going to raise your taxes again. And
promising
so even tinkering, you know, suddenly, and we had that happen between the 83 and 85 session and the 91 and 93 session.
We'd like to have you come back at some point, Carole, and talk about the tinkering that you think is needed.
And also, basically, you know, what's your list of things that could be cut or...
Oh, do I have a list? It's more than one session worth.
Okay,
good. Okay, great.
You'll be coming back. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this.
Atlantis is cooking up a party. It's every diner's paradise. Toucan Charlie's Buffet and Grill, voted Reno's best buffet by locals year after year. Experience the Mongolian barbecue, new Asian station, and sumptuous exhibition stations filled with fresh entrees, salads, and desserts. Try the Friday night seafood buffet and Sunday champagne brunch.
Would you like to savor a Trento pork chop? Or maybe pasta rags with grilled chicken? Hugo's Tuscan Grill at D'Andrea is a celebration of color, flavor, and freshness. Each dish is created from natural, wholesome foods that is delicious and nutritious. Hugo's is a comfortable restaurant with breathtaking city views. If you enjoy great food and good company, visit us here at Hugo's. It's the best that dining can be. 2900 South D'Andrea Parkway in Sparks.
Allegra is Northern Nevada's #1 offset printing and digital copying facility.
From disc to destination, Allegra utilizes tomorrow's technology today. We specialize in booklets, catalogs, manuals, newsletters, stationery, and envelopes.
Xerox, Docutech, 4-color printing with Heidelberg Speedmaster, desktop publishing and design, graphic services, pickup and delivery.
If you need printing, Allegra can do it. From disc to destination.
To experience the royal cuisine of India, you need some serious magic or simply transport yourself to India Garden, right here in Reno, where you'll discover Indian specialties refined over centuries. Sikh kebab, tandoori dishes cooked in our own tandoor oven, biryani specialties, curries, fresh-baked Indian bread, over a dozen vegetarian dishes, even dishes rare to India like dosa, South Indian-style crepes. India Garden off South Virginia near Sports West. We are India.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, an unusual guest today, somebody we're not going to pick on. Her name is Marie Capurro. She's Director of Program and Services for the Davidson Institute. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, well, thank you for being here, Marie. I have been concerned about the fact that with No Child Left Behind, we're sort of concentrating on those students who need the most help. But at the other end, we have students that might be bored in class because they're so bright. So you have an institute that actually is for these very bright children, right?
That's correct. We do serve gifted students nationwide, but we're doing some exciting programming here right in Northern Nevada to really try to offer challenging and exciting opportunities for our most gifted students, because we do know they're not being met in their regular classrooms.
So can you tell us a little bit about that program? It's a partnership with UNR, right?
That's correct. We are partnering with UNR. It's called the Think Summer Institute, and it's a very rigorous academic experience that will take place this July. It's residential for individuals who
residential means
they're staying on campus.
Okay.
So we are going to have 7th, 8th, and 9th graders, if that's current 7th, 8th, and 9th graders, who will be coming on campus, and they will be accessing 3 different classes that they can take. There's going to be a journalism class, there's going to be a chemistry class, and then all of the participants will take Japanese. And they will end at the program with 7 credits that will be transferable to other universities. So
how long does the program last?
It's 3 weeks, so it's very intense.
Learn Japanese in 3 weeks?
They're going to get a good foundation in Japanese and looking at culture and those kinds of things as well. But the university has a wonderful online component to that particular program, so they'll go to to their courses, but then they'll also be able to access things on their computer, so they can kind of stay with it as they go.
Is this sort of like a total immersion kind of thing? So, where you're getting it in different forms, but you're getting it sort of around the clock. So you're sort of buried in it, so you absorb it through your pores.
Exactly. So yes, they'll be eating it, breathing it, sleeping it, the entire sort of situation. So, and it will be, really an opportunity for them to be with other individuals who learn and think like they do as well. So not only will they be given an opportunity to go to the coursework, they'll have other peers who, they can ask engaging questions of and really be challenged and stimulated just in that environment.
Do you find that when you've done these programs before, right? Do you find that with some of these young people, they come in and they say, oh, I'm not so different after all. This person thinks like me and this person thinks like me.
Exactly. There's a tremendous sense of isolation for really bright young people. Our institute works with students who are at the 99th percentile. And so giftedness starts somewhere about 130 on an IQ test on average. We're looking at kids that are at least 145 and above. So we already have a group of kids that are different than regular gifted students. So yeah, they feel very isolated very often, even if they're in a regular gifted program that they may be getting pulled out. So when they come to this, it's like, oh, finally, here's a group of people who understand me, and here's an opportunity for me to learn something really challenging, because they may be very bored in their regular schooling environment.
And actually,
it's so
interesting.
Yeah, go ahead.
Some oxygen available for you here. So from your end of the spectrum, then, how do you look at No Child Left Behind?
Well, No Child Left Behind is, of course, a wonderful initiative for meeting the needs of those students who are really struggling. the Institute really believes that every child has a right to an appropriate education. And so we believe that certainly we should be, focusing some resources on those students who need them, that don't know how to read or are going to struggle with basic skills. But what we really feel needs to also be a complement to that is that gifted students need to be given the same opportunities to really be challenged with appropriate curriculum.
Do you feel that you're not being given enough funding at this point?
Oh, the funding is just, it's embarrassing as a country. There's $11 million that's allocated annually for gifted education. When you look at the entire education budget, $11 million is a pittance, and most of that goes actually to research grants. Very, very little of that actually gets into sort of the hands of people who are making a difference directly with gifted students. I mean, if you look at the fact that they spent $30 million to promote the new $20 bill, and we're only putting $11 million into gifted education,
and
that's a statement.
What percentage of students are at this level of gifted?
Our 1% is going to fall within that really high 99th percentile. But when you look at gifted students in general, it's about 5% of the school population. So we're looking at quite a few students who could really benefit, and it's probably even a larger percentage than that could truly benefit from an education that was challenging, allowed them to think and learn very differently.
Last question, go.
Well, this program costs $1,200. But you do have scholarships available, and people can get in touch with you to see if they want to have their child tested to see if they are in fact very gifted.
That's correct. So, and the best way to get to us is our website, which is www.davidsoninstitute.org, or they can call us 852-3483, and we'll help them out. So, thank you.
Fascinating, and that $11 million sounds pathetically low.
It's very, very frightening.
By comparison with $87 billion to help rebuild Iraq and Afghanistan.
Exactly.
We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers with the Pundits. We'll talk about the president's speech after this.
Before you head to Carson, take care of yourself with a visit to Tamarack Junction. Catch a hot cup of coffee and the morning news on one of our 32 TVs and enjoy the best food in South Reno. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
The Abowed family has an appetite for dialogue. Agree or disagree, have the conversation. All opinions are welcome. Since 1977, Adele's.
Your home is an expression of all things comforting and familiar. For custom storage, you can count on California Closets to provide quality, value, and design integrity. The process is easy, combining your personal style with our organizing expertise. We care about what matters most to you, making your home functional and beautiful. California Closets, simplifying home and life since 1978. Call today for your complimentary design consultation.
When you sign up for Wells Fargo Free Checking, you get more than free checking. You get the freedom to bank when and where you want. Wells Fargo, the next stage.
Make your daily commute easy with breakfast or lunch at the Tamarack Junction. Enjoy daily specials, super fast service, and South Reno's freshest morning meals. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're joined by a terrific panel today. Chris Barrett is with us, Jim Denton, and Dick Gammick. Welcome to all of you. President spoke last night. One of the issues that he talked about was health care. Jim, you have an interesting take on what the president should be thinking about as far as health care.
You know, I think, Sam, that affordable health care, the availability and affordability of health care is going to be a big political issue this year. And after we did the show last night, I had dinner with Diane Cornwall and her two daughters, who are 22 years old each, Emily and Chelsea.
And we don't need to hear the menu.
And well, the menu was pretty good. But anyway, we had dinner last night, and Diane's been a friend of mine for a number of years. Her daughters are identical twins, and they both had heart transplants at 18, roughly 4 years ago. Now they're in a situation where they each of them, if they weren't covered by insurance, the medication to keep their hearts from their bodies from rejecting their hearts cost them, if they weren't on insurance, cost them $2,000 a month each. And their insurance is about to run out because their insurance has a clause in it that says, we will only provide medication for a 3-year period. And I'll tell you that there are a lot of people in that position, and that is going to be a major political issue coming up in this election.
But one thing I liked hearing him say last night was that government doesn't need to do this. He's trying to stimulate the market to start taking care of this issue and business to take care of this issue and not have it just be another government giveaway program. And I thought that was great.
Dick, you're right about that. And I agree with the president about that we shouldn't have government do it, that we ought to have it in the private marketplace. But then you get into a situation where you have insurance companies that say, well, this is what we're going to do, and this is the bottom line. And then you have kids, like Diane's kids, and there are thousands of them out there in this country. What are they supposed to do? They're supposed to wait around to have this argument over whether government does it or private enterprise does it? Because, I think that's going to be a major issue
about
this
drugs,
year.
I mean, I'm not real impressed at this point by the government's actions and the drug companies' actions with the importation of drugs from Canada. Where the drug companies are threatening the pharmacies in Canada that if you're sending or allowing reimportation of prescription drugs back to the United States, we're going to cut you off. I'm not really impressed by that.
No, I'm not impressed by the government's whole argument on the reimportation of drugs. And Sam, you and I have had this conversation many times. I don't see people dropping in the streets in Canada or in Mexico.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Because how many senior citizens
the fact that the drug companies are saying you can't re-import these drugs pretty much tells me it's their drugs that are coming back in. Otherwise, why would they be doing this? Can I change the subject real quickly? There was something that came up in the president's speech last night that struck me as a little strange, and I haven't heard anybody else comment on it, so Dick, I'll throw it to you. He was talking about Saddam Hussein, and he said already the K report, which is David K., the weapons inspector who has gone back into Iraq and has resigned and is going to leave before completing his first report even. He says, already the K report identified dozens of weapons of mass destruction related program activities and significant amounts of equipment that Iraq concealed from the United Nations. Does that jive with anything we've heard or seen over the last 6 months?
No, to answer your question, no. But what that is or what he has his hands on, I won't even speculate on because I don't know what he has.
I'm sorry. I'm getting a little tired of the secrecy that's going on in government and the trust me kind of thing. And I don't care whether it's federal, state, or local. The public is tired of this. We have to trust you, and it's a matter of national security if we tell you what we're really doing behind closed doors. I want to hear what Chris thinks, okay?
Thanks, Andy. I agree with on the healthcare issue. We've got to find a better way to healthcare. We've talked about it for years and years and years, and now it's time to do it. I missed the speech last night. I was at Mayor Cashell's town hall meeting.
And there's probably some viewers out there that also did.
And when you say secrecy in government, you're absolutely right. And I think that's why Mayor Cashell's doing a good job, is because he doesn't allow that secrecy. He tries to remove that perception. I don't know if secrecy was ever going on there. I'm not implying anything, but I think he has removed the perception that there might be secrecy.
And now there's more trust in local government.
There's a lot of trust. There's leadership
Bob Cashell has done a very good job with that.
He's done a great job with that.
But Andy, what I was going to say is Saddam Hussein is not a Girl Scout here, okay? I mean,
we've got him. All right, but where's Osama bin Laden? Why weren't we talking about Osama bin Laden last night? And Afghanistan.
Okay, because this is, as much as it's the State of the Union, it is also a big part of the plan for the re-election of President George W. Bush. And he planned it between the Iowa caucuses and New Hampshire, and it was a political speech.
Regardless of that, though, Sam,
and I don't blame him.
Saddam Hussein is a problem. He is a problem. He was a problem to his neighbors. He was a problem to his country.
I think
he was
we all
a problem
agree.
to this country.
He's been caught.
And he's been caught. Now, one of these days, and I'm gonna take a guess and say within the next 6 months that we're gonna bag Osama bin Laden.
Okay, we have this on tape. We'll be playing this in 6 months.
I'm picking June. By June, I think we will end up bagging Osama bin Laden.
Well, I want to go. Can I go to another subject just briefly?
Is it the Patriot Act?
Yeah, I want to talk about the Patriot Act.
Okay, but I'm going to go right there then, because there's some things that have to be kept secret. You don't tell people what you're doing. Local government doesn't get involved in all this stuff of chasing terrorists and doing the international and all the things that are going on. So local government can be much more open, which they should be. I agree with that totally. But when you start getting into this kind of area where it involves national security and the Patriot Act being passed, everybody, or not everybody, people are screaming the Patriot Act violates individuals' rights. How many citizens have been subject to the Patriot Act?
Well, I'll give you an example. New Year's Eve, through the Patriot Act, all the hotel registers in Las Vegas were gone through to see if there were any potential terrorists there.
As were the airlines.
As were the airlines.
In Las Vegas.
Also, they used the Patriot Act in the G-string scandals, the strip club scandals down in Las Vegas. But they want to renew the Patriot Act. I'm not saying the overall.
Here's the problem.
I'm not saying overall that it's wrong. I'm just saying that if we renew it, let's put in some more safeguards that protect the citizens.
I think the majority of people
we
in
don't know
Congress.
how many other people have been abused by the Patriot Act because it's secret.
Yeah, but there's a difference between confidentiality of information and secrecy. Secrecy in government is just flat wrong. But on the other side of the coin, you have confidential information that is supposed to be kept from people who aren't supposed to have access to that information.
Let's remember
That's
what
not
the Patriot. What was the main intent of the What was the main intent of the Patriot Act? The main intent, as Dick Gammick can tell you, because he does this all the time going to court, is to be able to, if the government wants a wiretap on my phone, they can get one instead of having to get 5 for 5 phones. Correct?
If there's grounds to do it.
And we're out of time.
We're out of time.
You got to watch tomorrow to see the rest of the show.
Right.
We'll see you in just a couple of moments here.
It's America's largest historical district, and it's fun for the entire family. Virginia City is where the West comes alive every day, from train rides to gunslingers. Your gang can explore mines and interesting museums, visit historic saloons, and do some great shopping. Virginia City is the ultimate in family entertainment, and it's very affordable. Come up and stay overnight in our hotels, motels, and RV park. Virginia City, the Wild West at its best.
I ordered this beef broccoli here at Harris Buffet in Reno, and it was here in less than 60 seconds. What's up with that, Dave?
Sam, that's one of 20 dishes that we guarantee fast, guarantee fresh, made to order 7 days a week at Harris Reno's Buffet.
And I understand that just for this month, a 2-for-1 special just by showing your Nevada ID.
That's correct. We want to invite all of our Nevada residents to come down and experience this great buffet. We guarantee you a fresh, quality meal.
It's fast, it's delicious, and it's 2-for-1 at Harris Buffet.
Atlantis is cooking up a party. It's every diner's paradise. Toucan Charlie's Buffet and Grill, voted Reno's best buffet by locals year after year. Experience the Mongolian barbecue, new Asian station, and sumptuous exhibition stations filled with fresh entrees, salads, and desserts. Try the Friday night seafood buffet and Sunday champagne brunch. Atlantis.
When you sign up for Wells Fargo free checking, you get more than free checking. You get the freedom to bank when and where you want. Wells Fargo, the next stage.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
So a show somewhat based on professional wrestling tomorrow.
That's right. Don Gibbons has got Craig. You're here for the Education First Initiative petition, and Chris Wicker's here to oppose it.
Okay, and if you can get your lips working properly, we'll be back tomorrow. See you tomorrow on Nevada Newsmakers.